Hello, in today's video we'll be doing something a little different. I'll be doing something to my own car which has been neglected for far too long. And for this video I'll be showing you how to wash and detail your engine and engine bay. Or at least I'll be showing you how I do it. This was my engine bay when I first installed this engine in my Chevy Nova. And this is how I want the engine bay to look when I'm done. Will I be able to match it? I guess we'll see. So to begin we'll go over what I gotta do. The first thing when washing an engine is to disconnect the battery and cover anything that you don't want to get wet or that's exposed. Like in my case, the air filter has got to be covered, since the filter element is completely exposed. On these LS1 engines, there's not much that you have to worry about getting wet. As long as you have the cap installed and the dipsticking completely is pretty well sealed. Especially since these electrical connections are watertight, which I'll show you in just a few seconds. I normally do cover things like the alternator shown here and the computer, but on this one I'm willing to test it in the name of science to see if it'll affect it. When cleaning the engine bay, I work my way from the outside in, so I'm going to clean the sides and the back first, and do the engine last. So let's go ahead and start and cover the air filter with a plastic bag. It should work well since I'm not going to be using that much water. And now let's disconnect the battery, the negative terminal as usual. Now let me show you why these connections are watertight. These rubber seals keep water from getting inside the connector, and on this engine every connector has them. And as with many vehicles beginning in the early 90s, they started making their connections watertight. Now to begin rinsing the engine. For this I'll use a water hose with a spray nozzle. This one allows you to change the setting, and to begin I'll be using a mist setting. I'll just go around the outside and give it a quick rinse. The less water you use, the safer to anything electrical. For the next step I use a bottle filled with soap and water mixed in, and I'll also be using a microfiber towel and a brush. And now we can take our spray bottle and give it a good soaking to free up the dirt and debris. We'll want to use the brush on any areas that have dirt in hard to reach areas, and areas where the dirt is more caked on. Next we can take our microfiber towel and wipe all the surfaces, using more soap and water spray if needed. And now we can do a rinse off on what we just cleaned. I'm using the shower setting. And this is what it looks like. It looks like a good improvement so far. And now we can focus on the engine. When using water on an engine, you want to be sure that the engine is cold so you avoid damaging it. As with any hot metal, if you suddenly introduce something cold, it can crack the metal. Now I use a can of foamy engine degreaser to spray over the engine, more so on the areas with heavy oil or grease. And for any areas with heavy oil or grease, you'll want to use a brush to clean the surface. Before rinsing off the degreaser, I use these puppy pads or under pads to put under the car to absorb any of the chemical or oil. After letting the degreaser sit on the engine for 10 to 15 minutes, it's time to rinse it off. And now I like to blow it off with a leaf blower or compressed air. Now I just let it air dry for a couple hours, or I run it too for a few minutes. But for that I'll need to remove that bag for the air filter and reconnect the battery. And when done, I place these underpads in the plastic trash bag and dispose of them at hazardous waste events we have locally. And now I go around and use this cleaner to clean any areas that I missed or where the dirt was harder to remove. And you can either spray it on the microfiber towel or you can spray it on the surface and wipe it off. And now I like to use this stuff to spray on any black components to make the black stand out, like the intake manifold, fuel lines, and hoses. But you'll want to avoid spraying this on any belts or any hot components like the exhaust. And you can let it dry for a gloss look, or you can wipe the gloss away with a microfiber towel. And now we can clean the engine covers, And then we can spray them with the black spray. Here you can get a good look of how much the black spray enhances the black. And now I can go ahead and install them on the engine. And now to remove, clean, and re-oil this dirty K&N filter with the filter kit. After letting the oil soak into the filter for about 20 minutes, I reinstall it back on the car and then turn it on. After doing a total detail, this is the end product. What do you guys think? Well, I think it came out really good. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please click that like button to support my video and channel. And please subscribe if you haven't done so.